make some plays today defensively. Comes over, right hand.
Oh, that hand does hit the face on the follow-through, though.
Breanna Stewart goes to block Caitlin Clark's shot, and what does the referee do? Stands there, watches Caitlin Clark get whacked in the head.
Later in the same game, Breanna Stewart blocked a Clark layup, and on the way down, her hand caught Clark clean across the face. The referee was standing right there. He watched the whole thing happen. No whistle, no review, no flagrant, nothing.
The Indiana Fever cruised to another victory against the New York Liberty. A few things that stood out to me, I just don't understand. How does everybody get calls? Breanna Stewart, Kelsey Mitchell, but Caitlin Clark, you could literally grab her face and they don't call a foul.
So let me ask you this right now. Do you believe Caitlin Clark is being officiated differently from everyone else? Comment Y for yes. Just type the letter Y below, because after you see everything the referees called against Indiana and what they somehow refused to call, it becomes very difficult to believe this was just one innocent mistake. The Fever still walked out of Gainbridge Fieldhouse with a 20-point win over one of the best teams in the league, but nobody's talking about the score today. They're talking about what the referees didn't call.
The WNBA officials, the referees last night, they were egregious. We have a dude, number 42, Rich Jelly Bean or String Bean or Lima Bean, watching Caitlin Clark go up for a layup and get slapped across the face by Breanna Stewart. Now, in fast motion, watching from my TV, I didn't see her get slapped in the face. But the only difference is I'm watching from my TV. Another difference is I don't get paid to watch for things like that. The referee's job is while players are going up to the rim, going up for layups, is to look at all forms of contact, all forms of possible contact.
And once you see how the entire night played out, you'll understand exactly why this is blowing up right now. Let's start from the top because this game went sideways almost immediately. 90 seconds in, Clark ran into a screen set by Jonquel Jones. Clark thought it was illegal, a moving screen, and she said so, loudly, right to the referee. That earned her a technical foul.
You could push her in midair, which we saw in this game. They don't call a foul. And then we have Jonquel Jones. In Caitlin Clark's rookie year, she set a screen so hard on Caitlin Clark, it ruptured her eardrum. And then she sets one of those screens where Caitlin Clark was obviously blindsided. And you hear the announcer say that was a good screen. I don't care if she was still or not. She was bent over, leaning forward where her shoulder blade went into Caitlin Clark's face. That's not a good screen. They need to protect Caitlin Clark.
Her 6th of the season. For most players, that's just an early flare-up. For Clark, it's become part of a pattern. But then things got worse. The Liberty went on a 5-0 run. And on back-to-back Fever possessions, Clark and Aaliyah Boston were both called for offensive fouls trying to create space. First Clark catching a handoff and trying to get to her spot. Then Boston seconds later on a steal, trying to shrug off a defender on the way up the floor. 2 Fever players, 2 whistles, back-to-back. The Gainbridge Fieldhouse crowd did not take it well. They booed, loudly. One reporter courtside described it as the crowd getting restless as the calls piled up against the home team. At that point, you could feel it. This wasn't just one bad whistle fans were going to forget by halftime. This was building into something, and the Fever hadn't even gotten to the worst part of their night yet. That's when things stopped being about 2 questionable whistles and turned into something much bigger. Later in the game, Clark drove into traffic and put up a layup. Breanna Stewart rose up to meet her at the rim and blocked the shot clean. That part isn't in question. Nobody's mad about the block. It's what happened next. As Stewart's hand came down, it swept across Clark's face. Not a shove, not an elbow, but contact to the face. On camera, in real time.
At this play, Caitlin Clark, how much longer are we going to have to deal with this? Caitlin Clark goes up for the layup, gets absolutely slapped in the face. Should have been a flagrant foul, but nope. Not even a common foul. They're saying she was getting abused last night. Take a look at this. Caitlin Clark goes up for it. There's no body contact. So there's no body contact at all. So at this point, what should the official be looking at? The follow through, right? What should the official be looking at? There's no possible body contact at this. So the official should be looking at the upper part of her body. Is there a contact on the hand? Is there contact on the head? Is there contact on the shoulder? Where are there possible points of contact? And unfortunately for Caitlin Clark, the possible point in contact happens to be on her face, right on her head. Caitlin Clark grabs her nose, goes down, play on. Again, it's not my job. It's this dude's job to look for that. I'm watching from a TV screen. I'm watching from an itty bitty TV screen. This guy is literally 6.5 feet away from the play taking place. And I'm supposed to believe he doesn't see Caitlin Clark get whacked in the head?
And directly behind the play was referee Roy Gulbayan with a clear look at exactly what happened. He didn't call it. No foul, no review sent up, no flagrant. The game just kept moving like nothing happened. But social media didn't let it go that easily. One widely shared reaction summed up what a lot of fans were thinking in real time. Stewie follows through on a clean block and claws Caitlin in the eye. No review.
It's like the whole system is just beefing with her. Olivia Miles has a police escort through the lane to the basket. Caitlin is challenged even if she has her defender beat. Here's the thing. She literally watched her hand hit her face. She knew what she... Yeah, not saying it's intentional, but the gap between what gets reviewed and what doesn't when it involves Clark is wide enough now that it's a legitimate pattern, not a one-off. Yeah, it's a legitimate pattern. It's not a one-off at all. Yeah, if I'm Caitlin Clark and I'm getting whacked like this and fouls aren't getting called in my favor, yeah, I would probably be pissed at the referees too.
And here's the part that makes this bigger than one missed call. This isn't the first time this season fans have questioned whether Clark gets the same whistle everyone else does. It's been a storyline all year, how much contact she absorbs and how often officials let it slide. This one just happened to get caught on an angle where there was zero doubt about what viewers were seeing. A block, then a hand across the face, then silence. Meanwhile, on the other end of the floor, Aaliyah Boston was fighting foul trouble of her own, picking up her fourth personal early in the fourth quarter. 2 Fever starters, 2 different foul situations in the same game, same referee crew under the microscope, and it kept happening in front of a home crowd that was already primed to boo the second another whistle went against Indiana. By the fourth quarter, this game wasn't about the Liberty anymore. It was about every single call the officials were making or refusing to make every time a Fever player touched the ball. Here's the thing that makes this whole night so hard to wrap your head around. Despite every one of these moments, the early technical, the back-to-back offensive fouls, the no call to the face, the Fever still crushed the Liberty, 108-88, 20 points, against a genuinely good New York team. So why is everyone still talking about the officiating instead of the win? Because the pattern matters more than any single game. When a referee is standing right in front of a play, watching a hand connect with a star player's face and chooses not to blow the whistle, fans notice. And when it happens in the same game as a questionable technical and a pair of borderline offensive fouls against the same team, it stops looking like bad luck. It starts looking like a trend. That's exactly why a fresh breakdown video picking apart the replay and the officiating crew is climbing right now. People aren't just annoyed, they want answers. They want to know if this gets looked at, if anything changes, or if it's business as usual next time Clark drives into contact. And that's really the tension here. On paper, this was a great night for the Fever. A blowout win over a top team, on the road to nowhere, but up in the standings. But you can win by 20 and still walk away with fans more focused on the referees than the box score. That's exactly what happened Saturday night. The final score said one thing. The replay said something else entirely. The Fever won big. Clark kept playing through all of it. But the story coming out of Gainbridge Fieldhouse isn't the final score. It's a referee who watched a hand hit Caitlin Clark in the face and decided there was nothing to see. What do you think?
That's a great lane line drive.
Clark behind the backside, step and knocks down a three. Got a feeling, Pat, just have a feeling.
Caitlin freaking Clark. Caitlin freaking Clark. She was back. And I gotta tell you, I saw a different style of play tonight. She was looking and hunting for people to get dimes to.
Friday night in Indianapolis, she torched the Seattle Storm for a career-high 45 points and 10 assists, becoming the first player in league history to record a 40-point, 10-assist game. And she did it in just 29 minutes because her coaching staff still has her on a strict minutes restriction.
Okay, these are absolutely my favorite videos to make because Caitlin Clark, in a stunner, in a WNBA record breaker, puts down 45 points, 10 assists, steals and blocks and all that stuffing stat sheet. She was back and she was making a statement. But I gotta tell you, Caitlin Clark was on a minutes restriction, and for being under 30 minutes, putting 45 points down, 10 assists, actually, I know she got 6 stocks, but let's just see what exactly they were. She got 4 steals and 2 blocks, and I gotta tell you, she came in clutch.
But now, less than 24 hours later, the Fever are planning to put her back on the court against a much tougher opponent. So let me ask you this right now. Should the Fever protect Clark and rest her tonight? Comment Y for yes. Just type the letter Y below, because the way Indiana handles this could change the entire season.
Oh my God. Guys, the Fever playing right now. There's like 38 seconds left in the game. I don't want to see no more. I want to be surprised. But what I'm here to tell you guys right now, Caitlin Clark, best career performance today. 41 damn points. My goodness.
How does a player who is not even cleared for a full workload rewrite the record book and then get asked to do it all over again the very next night? What happens next might tell us everything about how the Fever are handling their franchise player. Let's back up. Clark has been dealing with a back injury for weeks now. It has been on and off, and every time she comes back, the Fever keep her on a strict minutes limit. Nobody wants a smaller issue to turn into a season-ending injury. So when she checked into Friday's game against Seattle, the expectation was simple. Play smart, stay within the restriction, and do not push it. That is not what happened. Clark came out aggressive from the jump. She was pulling up from deep, attacking the rim, finding teammates all over the floor.
That's a great lane line drive.
Clark behind the backside, step and knocks down a three. Got a feeling, Pat, just have a feeling. On defensive fouls from here, a real opportunity for Indiana. Clark with 15 points here on the night. Oh, she's feeling it! We have had entire games in the WNBA without this much scoring. Clark answers! It's a good old-fashioned shootout here in Indy.
Again, the poise and composure experience of Heidemann.
Clark, hey, triple!
By the time the final buzzer sounded, she'd shot 11 for 18 from the field and made 6 threes. She grabbed 2 rebounds, 4 steals, 2 blocks. She went to the free throw line 19 times and made 17 of them, both career highs. But here's the number that stops everyone in their tracks: 10 assists, 45 points. In WNBA history, across every single season and every single player, nobody has ever combined a 40-point game with a 10-assist game until Friday night. And she did it in 29 minutes.
Back to the Indiana Fever, back to Caitlin freaking Clark, because she was on a minutes restriction, and I'm telling you, like, I don't know how she did it. The Indiana Fever, at one point, they were up by 17 points. And then, because she's on a minutes restriction, she got yanked. She was on fire. She had to get yanked, didn't love that. I don't know what goes on with, like, minutes restrictions, partitioning of time, but kind of hated that because the Indiana Fever, started losing that lead. The game was actually taken over by the Seattle Storm at one point. They were ahead. Caitlin did come back in. She got things going. She was making 3 after 3 after 3. She was tossing dimes to her teammates.
Think about that. A full WNBA game is 40 minutes. She wasn't even out there for 3/4 of the game, and she still broke a record that's been open since the league started back in 1997. That's when the story stopped being about the stat line and started being about something bigger. Because here's the problem. The Fever needed every one of those points. Seattle is the worst team in the league this season, and Indiana still had to fight down to the wire, winning it 110-107. Clark's 6th 3 of the night is what actually put the Fever ahead for good. Without that performance, they probably lose this game. Which means the Fever are leaning hard on a player who is still hurt, and it gets more complicated from there.
And Caitlin Clark making this clutch 3 just to edge them ever so slightly over the Seattle Storm.
Under 10.
Clark fires. Hits. Caitlin Clark doing it all.
That created so much momentum. Everyone in Gamebridge was up on their feet. Then they play the foul game. It was exciting. It was, even though the frustration I had from Indiana losing a 17-point lead was bad. It was pretty bad. But I still had so much fun in the minutes that Caitlin was out because she makes the game different. She makes the game kind of move in a different way and flow in a different way. She takes a lot of chances that are really fun to see, and those types of things are what the fans have really been lacking.
According to ESPN, Clark also became the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 200 career three-pointers during this same game.
Oh, we didn't even mention Caitlin Clark made history too. Caitlin Clark made history today. Caitlin Clark has made history today, guys. Guys, watch this 3 right here. This just happened moments ago. This is why I immediately came to
Johnson pokes it away.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't even think Steph Curry could do that. Oh my, off the dribble, fade away 3. Look at Caitlin Cook. What is we saying?
2 records, 1 night, on a body that's still recovering. So what did the Fever do next? Rest her, shut her down, and protect the investment? That is not what's happening. Coach Stephanie White confirmed before the Seattle game that the plan is to have Clark suit up again tonight against the New York Liberty. Same building. Back-to-back night, less than 24 hours after the biggest performance of her career. This is where fans start splitting into 2 camps. One side says, let her cook. She clearly looked fine. The minutes restriction is working exactly like it's supposed to. The other side is nervous. A back injury doesn't just disappear because you had a good shooting night. And now she's being asked to back it up immediately against a Liberty team that's a completely different level of competition than the worst team in the league. There's no way to know which side is right, not yet. Here's why this moment matters so much. Caitlin Clark just proved, in the most emphatic way possible, that even hurt, even limited, even on a restriction, she's still the most dangerous player on the floor. 45 points and 10 assists isn't just a career high. It's a record that has never existed in this league before, set by a player who technically wasn't cleared to play a full game. That's the kind of performance that shuts up doubters. It's also the kind of performance that makes a coaching staff nervous, because now the plan to protect her health is running straight into the reality that she is completely unstoppable the moment she's healthy enough to play. The Fever are 15-10. Every game matters right now, and Clark just showed she can single-handedly win one, even at less than full strength. So tonight, against the Liberty, all eyes are on the minutes restriction. Does Stephanie White stick to the plan? Does Clark come out and manage her workload? Or does another close game push her right back into hero mode, the same way it did Friday night? Nobody knows the answer yet, but after what just happened, you'd be crazy not to watch. Caitlin Clark just made WNBA history on a bad back in less than a full game against a team that had no answer for her. Now she has to do it again tonight with even less rest. That's either the most impressive stretch of her career or a warning sign nobody wants to talk about yet. What do you think?
I've got to be honest, the officials allowed her the moment to get the emotions out of her, and some officials wouldn't do that, especially with
quad. Like, that hurts. Like, the ref can't miss that, and then I have to play with a contusion in my leg the rest of the game. Like, it's ridiculous. Can't miss calls like that.
She marched at the referee, screaming, dropping F-bombs, and somehow walked away with 0 technical fouls. Caitlin Clark just had the worst night of her season, and she is not hiding how angry she is about it.
Valkyries demolishing the Fever tonight. By the way, very early on in the offseason, when free agency started and it became clear the Indiana Fever wasn't really going to do much. And then we had the draft. You had all of us in the creator community screaming, this is not a championship squad. They don't have the appropriate size. They don't have the appropriate length. They haven't addressed a lot of issues. Guys, this team is officially 14-10.
Wednesday night, in her first game back from a back injury, Clark shot 4 for 14 from the field, 1 for 8 from 3, a season low, and when the whistle didn't blow on a hard foul that left her limping, she completely lost it. But the stat line wasn't even the real story. What Caitlin Clark did after the final buzzer is what has the entire WNBA world talking right now.
The fallout last night, the knee to the quad heard around the world, the crash out experienced around the world. We got video of the other part of a situation where Caitlin Clark came off the court and she was pissed off that she was being pulled out of the game. And very interesting.
Let's set the scene. Clark had been out over a week with a re-aggravated back injury. Coach Stephanie White confirmed it herself. So when Clark got upgraded to available on Wednesday, everyone knew she wasn't at full strength. Reports had her on a minutes restriction somewhere around 25, and the opponent waiting for her was brutal timing. The Golden State Valkyries, a second-year franchise, walked in having won 7 straight games. This was a statement game for both sides. The first quarter, Clark looked rusty. Nobody panics over one rusty quarter, not for her, but then the second quarter happened, and that's when the whole night flipped. Clark drove hard to the rim for a layup. Kaya Stokes met her at the basket. Contact. Clark hit the floor. The basket counted, but there was no foul call, and Clark did not take it well. The ref can't miss that, Clark said afterward. She hit me right in the quad. It hurts, and then I have to play with a contusion on my leg the rest of the game.
With Stokes that made you upset, and then you hopped into the back.
That hurts. Like, the ref can't miss that, and then I have to play with a contusion in my leg the rest of the game. Like, it's ridiculous. Can't miss calls like that.
That's when things stopped being about basketball. Clark went straight at the official, not a quiet word. A full sprint toward her, yelling from point-blank range. Multiple reports say she dropped F-bombs, arguing that the Fever weren't getting the same whistle Golden State was getting all night.
It was on and popping in this game.
Even make a move to try to keep Burton off.
Caitlin crashed out on the refs. Right here. Right here. She lost it. And you could tell at one point in the game, later after this, she got pulled out of the game, and I think she slammed the table on the way out of the game. But this is another look at this, real close.
I've got to be honest, the officials allowed.
She said, F. I've been fouled 5 effing times. Give me a effing call.
Somehow, no technical foul. The ref let it go. But everyone in that arena saw exactly how heated it got. And here's the part that makes this worse. When the referee reportedly told Clark she initiated the contact, Clark shot back immediately. Which is fine, she said, but you can't knee me in the leg. Knock me over.
Did they give you an explanation right after when you...
She said I initiated the contact. Which is fine. You can't knee me in the leg. Knock me over.
You'd think that would be the emotional peak of the night. It wasn't. Because after that blow-up, Clark's shooting night completely fell apart. She finished 4 for 14 from the field, 1 for 8 from deep. A season worst. 5 turnovers, a team high. And for the first time all year, Clark posted a negative plus-minus. Not once all season had that happen until Wednesday night in the same game she was screaming at officials.
Caitlin Clark is not happy. Caitlin Clark absolutely slammed Stephanie White for continuing to sub her out. She's sick and tired of Stephanie White's sabotage. She's sick and tired of this BS minutes restriction, which I believe is a stats limit. They are trying to limit what she can do in the statistical category. Caitlin Clark absolutely let Stephanie White have it, along with the referees, man. She is sick and tired of this nonsense. And it's just starting to blow over, man. It's too much now.
Probably the best defensive team in the league. They're really good at that. They do what they do. And I had some good looks that didn't go down, and then, you know, I shot some tougher looks too. But, you know, I thought I finally kind of played with a little bit more pace and a little bit more burst, especially down the stretch in the fourth. But hopefully I don't have to keep playing 25 minutes.
Hopefully I don't have to keep playing 25 minutes. I played 10 minutes in the first half. I can't get no damn rhythm. Stephanie White, can you stop playing games now?
The Fever lost 88-75, Golden State's 8th straight win, with Gabby Williams dropping 16 and Caitlin Chen adding 14 off the bench. A promising young franchise looking more and more like a real threat. But that still wasn't the moment that had people talking the most. After the game, Caitlin Clark did something she almost never does. She declined to speak to the media. Completely. No podium, no quotes, nothing. Think about that for a second. This is a player who talks after wins, after losses, after controversy, after everything. She's been one of the most available superstars in the league. And on the one night where she was hurt, frustrated, and clearly furious at the officiating, she said nothing at all. That silence tells you more than any quote could. This wasn't just a bad shooting night. It was a body that isn't fully healed, colliding with a coaching staff trying to manage her minutes, colliding with officiating that fans have questioned for her all season long, colliding with a superstar whose patience looks like it's finally running thin. This isn't the first time this year people have argued the referees are missing calls on Clark, but Wednesday was the loudest, most visible explosion of that frustration yet. And walking away from the media afterward makes it feel like more than just one bad night. So here's where it stands. Caitlin Clark is banged up. She's furious at the officiating, and she just had the worst shooting performance of her season. And for the first time all year, she didn't want to talk about it. With the Fever chasing a playoff push, that combination is worth watching closely. What do you think?